Hey guys, it's Lori. I've got a lot of comments on the post I made regarding Candace Owens, and I just want to say a couple things. So I've got to run in. I'm getting ready to go into work. I don't have a lot of time, and I may record more later. However, here's the thing. I do not agree with Candace Owens by any stretch of the imagination on many, many things. And I'm not really here to go into that right now. I don't have time. However, when it comes to this TPUSA thing and the Charlie Kirk assassination, not all of her questions, but a lot of her questions are very valid. I've been following this, and the thing about it was I really was just more over here listening, not at all convinced she was onto anything at all. Other than my main thing has always been the type of gun that was used and the bullet being stopped by his neck. That has never held water with me. However, but she brought a lot of things to the table that I was like, I don't know. But last Tuesday, which was December 2nd, I was listening, and she brought out some crazy, strange coincidences about Wilmington, Delaware, and Stacey Sheridan. And there were some other things she brought out on that podcast, and for the first time in my little brain, I went, you know what? She has got some valid points, and there are some really quirky coincidences, or appear to be. So I think it's time for TPUSA to step up to the plate and have a discussion. Then all that transpired with them giving her 24 hours, posting at midnight, which is a little bit on the ludicrous side, because they've remained silent for 3 months, and now suddenly they're giving her 24 hours and she's got to be here. Yeah, she said name the time and the place. I do believe if you listen to her podcast, though, you're going to go away with the conclusion she was talking virtually. However, I do think it's really important to meet one-on-one, and that being said, why not agree to a time for both parties that is reasonable and doable, and have a sit down? Things that she's brought up that I find interesting. You know, on the 2nd of September, there was an internal memo, evidently, by Charlie Kirk requesting a Doge audit, however you say it, for his company. So he was already showing some concerns for finances. And as we all know, just because TPUSA is a Christian organization, it's backed by billion-dollar donors. As the Bible says, money, the love of money is the root of all evil. Just because all these people were Christians doesn't mean they were on the up and up. So were things going on behind his back? Perhaps. How about we sit down and have a rational discussion? So that Doge audit that he requested got squashed. I don't know. There's other things as well. I probably should have written this down before I jumped on here, but I'm just telling you, she brings some very valid questions to the table that need to be answered, and the way TPUSA is handling it is not a good look for them at all. Not only that, do you realize their podcast has dropped to like 94th? I've listened to 0 podcasts since he's been gone, because the few that I listened to or started to listen to were just like, mom. I mean, there was nothing charismatic or really intriguing. Also, I just want to clear what Ben Shapiro said about Candace accusing Charlie Kirk's wife of murdering her husband. That's ridiculous. If you listen to her, you'll find that was never said. Okay, just giving you my 2 cents worth. I encourage you to just listen and be open-minded. Again, I don't agree with her on many, many things, and I've said that before in the past. I've had issues with her. However, brings some valid points. So just encouraging you to be open-minded. All right, have a great day.